our environment. Learning about our surroundings and environment. We all are familiar with the word surroundings. We have heard statements like, "The surroundings of the school are beautiful," or "The surroundings of the market are not clean." By surroundings, we mean the area around a certain person or thing. Things like animals, plants, air, and soil in our surroundings play an important role in our life. All those things around us which are related to our life are together called our environment. All living things, air, water, soil, sunlight, are the components of our environment. All animals, big and small, insects, microorganisms, all plants, that is, all living things, are called the biotic elements of the environment. Water, sunlight, soil, air, chemicals mixed with air and water, smoke, gases, etc. are called the abiotic elements of the environment. The living and non-living things in the environment are interrelated. Every living thing gets its food from its environment. Many animals eat the plants. These plants grow by absorbing water and nutrients from the soil. Microorganisms in the soil decompose vegetable refuse, plant waste, excreta of animals, remains of living things, etc., and convert them into manure. Every living thing gets oxygen from the air. Plants use the carbon dioxide given out by living things during respiration to make the food. The way the living and non-living elements of the environment affect each other is called their interaction. Many different living things find their shelters in the environment. Animals like the tiger and the deer live amongst the grasses in the forest, while many birds make their nests in the trees. If forest areas decrease, such animals do not find proper shelters. As a result, the number of these animals also decrease, and other animals dependent upon them for food are deprived of it. When wastewater carrying harmful chemicals enter a lake, it affects all the living things in the lake. If such water seeps into the soil, not only does soil become infertile, but useful microorganisms in the soil are also destroyed. The continuous conversion of the water on the earth's surface into the vapor to form clouds and its return to the earth, its rain, constitutes one of the nature's cycles called the water cycle. The growth of the plants using substances in the soil and the continuous addition of the nutritive substances to the soil due to the decomposition of the remains of plants is another important cycle in the nature. Living things use oxygen from the atmosphere for respiration. Plants use the carbon dioxide they exhale to make their food. This process again releases the oxygen back into the atmosphere. Thus, there are several such cycles in the nature. If any one of them is disturbed, it has an adverse effect on the environment. These effects have to be borne by many living things. That is why we must be constantly alert to ensure that our environment is not harmed due to any carelessness on our part. We all have heard about the Bhopal tragedy. Some years ago, in a chemicals factory, poisonous gas leaked out and spread in a large area around the factory. This poisonous gas killed about 4,000 people at that time. thousands of people became permanently disabled. The leaking gas killed thousands of cows, buffaloes, and goats too. Trees in a vast area shed their leaves. The ground below the tree was covered with dead birds too. It was impossible to estimate the number of birds killed in the tragic incident. The ozone umbrella. The gaseous envelope around the Earth is called the atmosphere. In the layer of the atmosphere, which lies between the altitudes of 17 km and 26 km, there is a gas called the ozone. Although ozone is not necessary for the day-to-day survival of living things, the existence of this ozone layer high up in the atmosphere surrounding the Earth is very important for them. This layer acts like a protective umbrella. There are some harmful rays in the sunlight. It can be dangerous for living things if these rays reach the Earth. These rays can destroy some living things. It can cause harm to other living things too. As the sunlight passes through the ozone layer on its way to the Earth, it absorbs much of these rays. Thus, it prevents the rays from reaching us and causing any harm. In the past few years, it has been noticed that the ozone layer is becoming thinner. In some places, it has almost disappeared. This has given rise to new dangers like global warming, melting of ice at the Earth's poles, which causes a rise in sea level, increase in the incidence of dangerous diseases like cancer of the skin. Efforts are on all over the world to find out what causes the ozone layer to become thinner and how to stop this from happening. In order to emphasize the importance of ozone, 16th September is observed as Ozone Day every year. Summary. The environment is made of biotic and abiotic factors. There is an intersection between the living and non-living factors of the environment. There are a number of cycles in the nature. Everyone should take care to maintain the balance in the environment. That was all in this lesson, students. Keep the environment clean and green. Happy learning!